Ah, dear. You know, there are some people in the world that do some crazy things. Absolutely amazing things, and we're about to bring out Peter Bland, who I think has just done one of the most incredible things. His whole life story is incredible. He, 12 months ago, was in this situation, in hospital, having heart surgery, and it was, in fact, he had his aorta changed over. That's the valvey thing. They put in a piece of hose.
And he had 2 open heart surgeries.
Well, he has, yes, because when he was born with a hole in his heart. In fact, I think I've told you the whole story now, so we don't have to have him on. Yes, we do. Peter Bland!
Yeah.
I was going to say, you went from that picture that we showed of you in hospital 12 months ago to this, and this was only a few weeks ago. Here you are.
There we go.
With that fantastic flag, which this is at the magnetic North Pole.
Exactly. Yes.
And the flag there, of course, is a very famous item, isn't it?
Yes, well, that's this flag I've brought in here today. That's the flag of Sir Douglas Mawson. And Sir Douglas Mawson, of course, I feel is Australia's greatest explorer ever.
Certainly.
And at the turn of the century, he became the first Australian, indeed the first group in the world to the South Magnetic Pole. And
That's his... I've got to touch it for luck, because that has been at the South Pole, and you have, of course, taken it to the North Pole.
North Magnetic Pole.
Now,
there you go. Have I got the right way around?
No.
No, I haven't, have I? Because I'm always looking at it back.
There we are. There we are. Now,
it's paper thin. You can see.
It's very thin, but it's certainly held up well for the number of miles it's done.
That's right. Well, I had it pretty much protected all the way there, wrapped up in tissue paper.
Now, I just started to mention before, when you were born, you had a hole in the heart, right?
That's right.
And then, so you had open heart surgery when you were, what, 8 or 9?
Well, I discovered it when I was 4, when my brother threw me down the steps of our holiday house.
Oh, really?
And my parents thought I had broken ribs, so they just had an X-ray, and the X-ray revealed a little murmur in there. And 4 years later, when I was a bit bigger, they went in there, gave me the zipper, and replaced it.
Right.
Not the heart, just the valve.
The valve. And then, now, 12 months ago, you had surgery on the aorta.
That's right.
Right.
I've now got another nice scar from there.
I've seen the scar. It's quite gory. It goes right around under your thing and up in the back here. Now they said that no, I don't think it was. But they said you'd be in hospital for like 3 months to 6 months or so.
Well, that's right. They really didn't know because
there's your zipper there. 3 to 6 months.
They really didn't know how long I'd be booked in for because it was so unusual for somebody my age to have this operation. But basically I went in there saying, okay, get this operation out of the way, bang, 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 into the gym, let's go to the pole.
Well, you certainly got, you're a very determined sort of bloke because you were out in 6 days or so, weren't you?
6 days I was at home. But I mean, I wasn't really up to bang at home.
Oh, you weren't doing cartwheels, put it that way.
I wasn't running around.
But certainly, and then within 12 months, here you are at the North Pole. We're going to run some footage. This is up at the North.
There we go.
You know, that's a is that frozen sea?
Frozen sea. That's why I've gone right now in the spring, because basically you've got completely frozen polar ice cap.
Yep.
And now it's going to start melting, but you've got to have sunlight to walk in.
Right.
And we started off the trip with about 18 hours of light.
Yes.
And we ended up 24 hours. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
that's
dear.
what it was like. Whew.
So you could have, you could have just disappeared and that would be it.
Well, that's true. I mean, as opposed to the south where you fall through a crevasse and you're gone. Yes. At least in this situation, you fall into the frozen sea, you fall into water. You then, of course, risk hypothermia.
Right, right. Now, how many days were you trekking?
28 days. 28
days. And how many in the overall party?
5 in the team, myself and 4 Brits.
I mean, what stirs you up to say, I'm going to go to the North Pole?
Well, I basically had the opportunity. I was at the South, as you said before, I was at the South 2 years ago. And an incident occurred down there where I basically had the opportunity to get on the team as navigator. Yes,
you must tell this story. We've got a little bit of footage of this. This is quite, this is the most amazing thing. You're down there, you're on the boat, right? This is down to the Antarctica. And the rope, a piece of rope wrapped around the prop. And you, what? You volunteered?
Well, I mean, I wanted to get there. And basically that rope had to come off, and it's okay if you're in the Caribbean, you jump over the side and cut it free, but it's not too good if you're down in the Antarctic. And basically we tried for 3 days to get ashore, but we couldn't because the winds were so strong they were blowing us offshore. And finally I said to the guys, hey, I'm volunteering to go over the side.
And you did? You went over?
They said, okay, well, let's do it. But of course we had to get in behind an iceberg so we could get out of the wind because the waves, you know, 70-knot winds were pretty horrific.
And what temperature is the water you're just about to
Well, the water's balmy. I mean, it's warm as. It's -1 compared to the air temperature, because the air was -60.
Minus 60? And you're going in for a swim at minus 60? You've got to join that iceberg mob.
And the stupid thing was that we had these fantastic immersion suits that you could go into the water for ages in, but they got put off in Hobart, just one of those things. And I was just wearing a sailing suit there, woolen beanie and gloves. And
so you really could only be in that water for how long before
well,
permanent
the ship's
damage?
doctor said 5 minutes, that's it. If you haven't got it done in 5 minutes, you're out.
Right, and out in more ways than one, of course. And I believe they strapped the knife or something to your hand because once you were in that water, you couldn't move.
That's right. You can't move your hands and digits in there because it's just too cold. Oh, there we go. Not much breath left there.
No,
so they had to strap the knife to my hand. And the amazing thing there, of course, is that I didn't know I had this problem. 8 months later, I was in hospital.
Of course, that's prior to the operation you had.
Yeah.
Oh, that is amazing. And then you thought, well, you said to the guys, if I'm going to die, there's two things I want. I want the television rights, and I want the...
I'm not stupid.
Oh, very good. I mean, you have the presence of mind to think, I want the television rights, and they're fishing you out of the sea there. And also you said, I want to be on an expedition to the North Pole.
That's right. I said, I want to be navigator on the next trip. And they said, mate, you do this, you can have whatever you want.
Which is absolutely amazing that you've done it. I know that your wife, Julia, is... heavily involved in the Heart Foundation.
That's right.
And of course, you're a wonderful ad for that because, I mean, your message basically is that you can rise to great things.
Get out there and do it. Set a goal, go at it, and don't let adversity get in your way.
Well, we've got a number for the Heart Foundation if people would like to make a donation. I, on behalf of Hey Hey, would like to give you a little cheque from us. It's $2,000 for the Heart Foundation. And Peter, it's the most amazing, remarkable story. Now,
fantastic area.
And after the show, Julia and some of the volunteers from the Heart Foundation are going to be on the phones, and you're going to whip down there and actually...
We're going there straight away after the show.
Yeah.
Man the phones.
Okay.
And,
hey, how much was that cheque for, Mr. Summers?
Well, it was $2,000, Dickie.
There goes the Christmas party. Thanks, mate.
And so Julia is going to be on the phone, and you'll be taking some calls, say hello to people.
Right.
But ring up and don't just say, oh, g'day, Pete, clunk. Make a donation. That's what... And the number again is 1-800-JOHN.
Yes, Darryl, 1800-803-156. Jump to it.
Okay.
Fantastic. And look, that's $2,000. That's very, very generous of you. They don't have to give as much as that to receive this, but you can have the badge that I had.
Right.
And that's what you get for your donation when people...
Just hold that to that camera and we'll see. That's the little badge you get if you make a donation.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well,
and there's my lovely fingers on there.
Yeah. Excellent. How are the fingers now? Because I know that
they're a bit
you said they get a bit cracked or something.
Well, I've got no feeling in them at the moment, but basically they've got frost nip, and that's all the blood's come back into them.
You got frigid digits.
Frigid digits, that's right. Not too good at the loving at the moment.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So you've anyway. We just wanted to say, Peter, well done. And can you talk about what you may do next? Are you going to plan some other?
I've certainly got plans afoot, and that's for a solo expedition, which will be longer. It'll be to raise money for the National Heart Foundation.
Terrific.
And I'm looking for sponsors.
Okay. Well, there's an open invitation to sponsor Peter, who it's quite remarkable. Thank you for coming in,
Pete.
Peter Bland. Thank you.